So making this video has been a long time coming because I've spent days, and the motivation for it is I've spent days going through my work photos. And so going through the work photos and organizing them, it kind of reminded me, what's the most important question? One of the most popular questions I get asked as a resurfacer or painter is colors. So let's get into some colors here. So that's what this video is about. So I get asked a lot about colors because I'm a painter. And so what I usually say is they kind of break down into a couple different categories. The first is you want colors that blend in. The other option is you want colors that pop. Maybe you want a sports themed color. And then perhaps you're in a scenario where you have rust spots in your asphalt and you have to cover it up. So you're in concealment mode. So those are your three big wickets when it comes to court coloring. So starting off, I'm just going to go into the blend-in portion. So people just want their courts to blend into their properties and disappear and be camouflaged against the trees and blend in with the grass. In which case, you get your standard green like you see there, or you see a two-tone green like you see there, another plain green, another plain green. But you also get what's popular called the Flushing Meadows colors. And what the Flushing Meadows colors are mirroring what you see at the US Open. So you're talking about your green and your blue. So between green and green, or green on green, even if you did two-tone green, and Flushing Meadows, the green and blue, I should say right here, those are your most popular colors. Second to the colors blending in is the blues. And in a way, the blues kind of blend in too. And you'll also notice a lot of these courts are whether they're tennis or basketball courts, because I tend to focus on the smaller side and on the residential side. I do country clubs and municipalities, but I focus more on the residential side, which is why you see a lot of small basketball courts, pickleball courts, and individual tennis courts. So here are your blues. You're my boy, blue. Even though if you have little accents like the green, this isn't entirely blue, but it's a good combo. So there are some blues. A lot of times you see the light blue combined. Different hues of blue. Blue on blue. So those are your blues. And to kind of reinforce why most people go with those is they're kind of piggybacking and copying off of the professional places that they see. Now, these are all screenshots of clubs throughout the country that host major pickleball tournaments. So you notice a pattern here: a lot of green and blue, a lot of green and blue. That's most. So these were all the major pickleball tournament clubs. Now you're going to see something a little different with tennis courts. I've done some screenshots. I went around the country and I didn't paint any of these courts. And I kind of screenshotted some different colors so you can kind of get an idea of what other colors look like as well. One thing you'll notice is that I've noticed throughout the country, not just on courts I paint, is the reds do tend to fade quicker. Although I will say that the quality of most manufacturers' paints has improved significantly over the last couple of years. That's really cool right there. That's a tennis court. That's not a pickleball court. So notice this. This is probably, a West Coast job. West Coast. They're getting it to blend in. Well, this is definitely blend in with the terrain. Occasionally on non-tennis courts, you'll see a black and gray. And then you got brights. And these ones are usually mimicking the colors that you see of sports teams. Like you'll notice I do a lot of Knicks stuff because I live in New Jersey and I do a lot of work in the New York area. I work all over the country, but this is where I do the most of my work. And so there you go. You got some reds and you got some oranges. One last thing I'll talk about that I don't think I covered is court designers, where you can go on here and mess around and change different court colors. I was fooling around right here doing Lakers colors, purple and blue. But what if so you got the border, purple, the court, yellow, close enough. What if you did black? Because Lakers, you could, anytime, you can always do gray or black. So that could be a cool Lakers court. Probably too much gray. I think I would probably stick with the purple. I'd probably stick with that if I was a Lakers fan. But there's multiple court designers. All the manufacturers have them. So check it out. I hope this helped with a court coloring standpoint. If you have any specific questions, drop them in the comments or send me a private message on either of my websites. That's my blog. That's my gallery. You can find my contact info on either of those sites.